This is Data Reps Test, Oral Administration. Question number 1. The circle graph shows Alan's activities during 24 hours. Alan's activities: sleeping 35%, attending school 30%, listening to music 12%, playing video games 3%, practicing drums 5%, playing tennis 10%, eating 5%. Question: how much more time in hours did Alan spend listening to music than playing tennis? How much more time in hours did Alan spend listening to music than playing tennis? Selection F, 2.88 hours. G, 0.48 hours. H, 2.4 hours. Or J, 0.12 hours. Question number 2. The box plot below compares the heights of the girls and the boys in the 7th grade at Heiser Middle School. This is the box plot for the boys' heights. This is the box plot for the girls' height. This is a scale in inches of heights. Question: which statement is true based on the information in the box plots above? F. The boys' heights have a center height about 10 inches larger than the girls' heights. G. The boys' heights have a larger spread than the girls' heights. H. The whiskers on the box plot of the girls' heights are more varied in length than the whiskers on the box plot in the boys' heights. Or J. At least one boy and one girl are 72 inches tall. Question 3. Maribel surveyed 55 people to find out their favorite types of music. The results are shown in the bar graph. Favorite types of music, number of people, country, jazz, opera, and rock types of music. Based on the information in the graph, which types of music were chosen by 40% of the people surveyed? A. Country and opera. B. Jazz and opera. C. Jazz, opera, and rock. Or D. Country, jazz, and rock. Question 4. The dot plots below show the numbers of minutes at random group of 6th and grade 7 students spend on personal hygiene in the mornings. These are 6th graders, these are 7th graders. This is 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35 minutes. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35 minutes. Which statement is supported by the information on the dot plot above? A. Grade 7 has a larger spread in the number of minutes they spend on personal hygiene than grade 6 has in the number of minutes they spend on personal hygiene. B. Grade 7 has a center of 20 minutes and grade 6 has a center of 30 minutes. C. Grade 6 has more students spending 15 to 25 minutes on personal hygiene than grade 7 has students spending 15 to 25 minutes on personal hygiene. D. Grade 6 has more than half of the students spending 25 or more minutes on personal hygiene, while grade 7 has more than half of the students spending 30 or more minutes on personal hygiene. Question 5. The number of pets per household for Mrs. Anderson's class and Mrs. Murphy's class are shown below in the dot plots. This is Mrs. Anderson's class. We have 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 number of pets per household. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 number of pets per household for Mrs. Murphy's class. Here are 3 statements about the number of pets per household on these 2 classes. Statement 1. The range of the number of pets per household for Mrs. Murphy's class is greater than the range of the number of pets per household for Mrs. Anderson's class. Statement 2. The distribution of the data is approximately symmetrical in both sides of the sets of data. Statement 3. The mode of the number of pets per household for Mrs. Anderson's class is equal to the mode of the number of pets per household for Mrs. Murphy's class. Question: which of these 3 statements appears to be true? A. 1 only, B. 1 and 3, C. 2 and 3, or D. 3 only? That's A, 1 only, B, 1 and 3, C, 2 and 3, or D, 3 only. Question 6. The box plots below show the number of community service hours by each student in Mrs. Alonso and Mr. Lee's homeroom classes. This is the box plot for Mr. Alonso at the top. This is the box plot for Mr. Lee's students on the bottom. This is the scale from 0 hours all the way to 10 hours. Which of the statements is not supported by the information in the box plot above? F, the box plot for Mr. Alonso's students has a center of 7 hours, and the box plot for Mr. Lee's students has a center of 6 hours. G, the box plot for Ms. Alonso's students has a larger interquartile range than the box plot for Mr. Lee's students. H, the whiskers on the box plot for Mrs. Alonso's students are more varied in the length for the whiskers in the box plot for Mr. Lee's students. J, at least one student in Miss Alonso's class did 10 hours of community service. Question 7. The graph below shows the number of items sold in an electronics store one weekend. Sales in an electronics store. Which statement is best supported by the information in the graph? F, the number of video games sold was 1/3 of the number of computers sold. G, the number of music systems sold was 36 more than the number of video games sold. H, the number of televisions was 12 more than the number of DVDs. J, the number of televisions was 1/4 the total number of items sold. Question 8. Ms. Mason asked 2 of her classes how many library books they read over the summer. The dot plot shows the number of books read by the students in the 2 classes. Class 1, 3 to 9. Class 2, 3 to 9 books. Which statement is true based on the information in the dot plots above? F, the dot plot for Class 1 has a center of 6 books, and the dot plot for Class 2 has a center of 6 books. G, the dot plot for Class 1 has a larger spread than the dot plot for Class 2. H, the most common number of books read in either Class 1 or Class 2 is 7 books. Or J, the number of students in Class 1, as in Class 2, read 5 or less books. Pause and rewind this video as you see fit to go back and cover any questions that you need to review. Good luck.